P was telling me earlier this week about a scene in episode 2 between Kate and Randall, where the emotional nuances of what Randall says to Kate was like a gut punch. What were your thoughts on that particular scene?
I'm so sorry.
Sorry about what? Specifically, what are you apologizing for?
I'm sorry about what's going on in the country and the protests and
Okay, but you've never apologized before. And this isn't the first black person to be killed on camera.
No, it's not. None of this feels different. It's
not for me, Kate. We grew up in the same house. Things like this have been happening to black people for years, and we've never talked about it. Like, not once. Not once in 40 years.
I don't know what to say. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Okay. So, growing up, I just had to keep so many things to myself because I didn't want to make you guys feel bad. I didn't want you to have to worry about saying the wrong thing.
Well, you're right. I mean, we never talked about it as kids. And I think Mom and Dad did the best they could, I guess, but I didn't get involved. I didn't even...
See, I hate this, Kate. I hate seeing you upset. And normally I would hug you, and I would tell you that you did all the right things. I would try to make it all okay for you. But if I did that, Kate, if I made things better for you, then where does that leave me?
I think it was necessary that that scene was done. I think also it was that thing of saying that, you know, there are a lot of people that are white, that are, or not black, that are, you know, protesting and kind of being around. But at the same time, some people don't realize one thing that did come out of BLM that was big was, you know, you actually have to be not racist to be not racist. A lot of people were ignoring the situation and saying that, you know, I don't hate black people, but I don't want to get into politics, or I don't want to talk about this. And they thought that was keeping them safe. And it was like, that doesn't keep you safe. That's still sitting with the racists. And I think that this was another gut punch that needed to be heard. And for years and years, I can say that that definitely is the same situation with friends that I've had in different workplaces, in different things. I never wanted to bring up race as a problem. I never wanted to share it with them because I didn't want to see them get upset about it, because they would get upset way more than I would, because this is my reality in my life. And I've had to get thicker skin about it, but they will get all up and upset about it. And I was like, I don't want to do that for you. But if I keep looking after you every single time, where does that leave me? And that was such a powerful moment that I'm so glad was shared on TV, because hopefully it will generate conversations for people to be like, did you feel like that? I did. And I have been able to do that. I've been able to do that with people that I work with, people that I worked with that have come back to me after having conversations of not seeing the episode, but BLM, and said, you know, have you ever felt, you know, racially prejudiced in the workplace? And I'm like, many a times. And then I'll give them examples and they'll be like, oh, I didn't. And I'll be like, yep. Because it's easy to make an excuse about it, easy to make sure everyone feels like it's roses. But the truth is, nothing is ever cleared unless we get the truth out and actually look at it. And that's what Randall did. He was like, I'm not leaving this moment. I have to say what I have to say to you, Kate, so you know what's going on in my head. And I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more, man, because this is keeping it real now. This is keeping it real. Randall, he continues to analyze his thoughts and feelings because it's never been discussed so openly with his foster family. And I think this came from being able to talk to his therapist, and that gave him kind of thoughts about how he can talk to his family and being honest with them, because he hasn't really done it before. And in a way, it almost seems to be a bit of a shock for Kate. Whoa. And the fact is, it happens to a lot of people as well. Like Doug rightly said, like in a workplace, something happens and you flip out. When every single time you're just being kind of just riding the wave and just being chilled about it, and somebody just goes a little bit too far, you say, nah, enough is enough. Enough is enough. And they ask you, so why are you suddenly getting vexed for? But I've been vexed all this time. You just haven't noticed it at all. and you're just taking me for granted. And I think people out there that has these particular expectations on the predictability of an individual, and if they don't conform, then it's like, oh my gosh, shock horror. But now, in Randall's case, he seems to kind of be alienating himself, and it makes me wonder: is this like a build-up into something huge now? Watch this space.